It's hard to believe an entire year is coming to a close. It's just been such a fabulous experience. I've met so many fabulous people and made new friends. And yet it's coming to a close, but it's actually opening a new door. And I'll talk about that later. But why did I choose this program? Well, going back a year ago, April, I hadn't even really thought about a master's. And then I saw an email that came through talking about this program, and it looked like what I've been looking for. And so as I compared it to other programs, all the other programs look like 20th century programs with your typical stuff. And Full Sails was a 21st century cutting edge program. Every class looked like it. And so it was ideal. That's why I wanted it. And that's why I got started. Even though I had to rush to get all my paperwork in last May, I made it and started in June. What was the most enlightening for me was the second class we had, the on multiple intelligences. I had never really heard about that in anything I had had. I wish I had a long time ago because it's really completed the puzzles of things I knew weren't quite right in the classroom and the pedagogical things that just didn't seem to work. Once I understood the multiple intelligences, I've redesigned my entire classroom. It's based on multiple intelligences, and it's just been a fun year because of not just my master's, but because of all the things in my master's that became a part of my classroom throughout the entire year. That it just never changed, continued to new things, and the kids loved it. What was the most challenging? Definitely the Adobe products. I love the Adobe Reader, but when we had to do that Flash, um, really was a tough time for me. I was able to do the tutorial, but I remember one assignment one weekend where I spent 3 hours trying to get that done, and when I did it, it kept flapping up and down and up and down. And so I had to go back and do it again. Fortunately, it only took an hour and a half, and I made it work. But I could only do it because of the tutorial. Without the tutorials, I couldn't have done it at all. And so that was my most frustrating thing. I enjoy the Mac programs and Web 2.0 programs. Adobe was just a real challenge for me. What advice would I give to others in the program thinking about beginning the program? If you want to be on the cutting edge, if you want to learn what needs to be done and how to do it right, you want Full Sail over the other universities because that's what this program has. Now, in doing the program, if you're in it or you get into it, best advice I could say is stay on top of everything. I set a goal basically that each day I wanted to do something, get something done, and especially on the weekends is when I did most of my work. And it made it easier to stay on top of. If you don't do that, you can be easily overwhelmed, and you don't want that. Where am I going from here? What are my future plans? I'm an instructional technologist now. I have a platform, my action research. And so my goal is to do some speaking, uh, do some consulting. I already have one school that I'm going to be doing some consultant work with. And I'd like to maybe end up as an instructional technologist, like a friend of mine, at a university somewhere. Some of the things I like to reflect back on the class that I love the group projects. It taught me a lot on how to do group projects, how to grade them and do them fairly. And so I learned a lot from there. Of course, when we went from thesis to action research project, you made my day on that night. I remember the last WIMBA of the third month. What an exciting time because I loved the action research. I would like to suggest the wikis. I really like the wikis that we learned at the end here and have replaced the discussion boards with the wikis so that we can continue the discussion back and forth because the wikis are designed for that. And also for critical friends, I think probably it would work better if we have monthly assignments to remind us to do these things. But overall, thanks for a fabulous program, Full Sail. It was great.